What if the habits you are choosing today are quietly building the life you'll have tomorrow? To find out, I became my own experiment. What I discovered about the connection between small, everyday choices and habits might surprise you, and it could change the way you approach your future. Stick around, because this is a journey worth taking. I decided to choose 5 habits with scientific research behind them, and today we're diving deep into how they completely transformed my life in just 1 week. Yes, you heard that right. 1 week. Now, I know it might sound too good to be true, but these aren't your typical self-improvement tips you find everywhere. These is real, raw, game-changing advice. Whether you're aiming to boost productivity, improve mental health, or simply bring more positivity into your daily life, these tips can take you there. So, grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and stick around till the end. I'll share exactly how these habits worked for me, plus some honest stories and insights from my own journey. Trust me, these are practical, actionable steps that you can start implementing right away, today, and they just might change your life as well. I would like to start by confessing that I used to rush a lot through meals, eating very fast and with some sort of anxiety for no reason, distracted by the TV, my phone or computer, barely paying attention to what I was eating. But after dedicating a week to mindful eating, I could not believe the results. Imagine taking a bite of your favorite food and actually tasting it, every flavor, every texture, every moment. It might sound simple, but it completely changed my relationship with food and my well-being. I committed to eating all my meals mindfully, setting the scene for each one. I cleared my dining table, created a nice atmosphere, and eliminated distractions. No phones, no TV, no laptops. At first, it felt strange to sit quietly with my meal, but soon it became a calming ritual. I began each meal with a few deep breaths to center myself and bring my focus to the present moment. One of the first things I noticed was how much more I enjoyed my food. By taking the time to really taste and appreciate each bite, familiar foods suddenly revealed new, delightful flavors. The crunch of fresh vegetables and the sweetness of ripe fruit became pronounced, like experiencing food in high definition. Mindful eating also changed how satisfied I felt after meals. By eating slowly, I allowed my body to signal when it was full. This was a significant shift for me. I often rushed through meals, leading to overeating. By paying attention to my hunger and fullness cues, I naturally ate less and felt more satisfied. I'll never forget the difference it made with a simple bowl of oatmeal. Normally, I would rush through it, but this time, I savored the creamy texture and the subtle sweetness of honey, turning it into a moment of gratitude that set a positive tone for my day. Additionally, I became more aware of how different foods impacted my body. Processed foods left me feeling sluggish, while whole foods energized me. This awareness led to healthier choices without feeling deprived. When I felt the urge to snack out of boredom or stress, I paused to assess whether I was truly hungry or if it was purely dehydration. Yes, many times we feel hunger because we are not properly hydrated. Therefore, make sure to stay hydrated throughout the day. For example, one evening, instead of reaching for dessert after dinner, I chose a warm cup of herbal tea when I realized I wasn't actually hungry. It was a small victory that underscored the power of mindful eating. Incorporating mindful eating into my life was transformative. It helped me develop a healthier relationship with food, improved my digestion, and enhanced my overall well-being. If you're interested in trying mindful eating, start with just 1 meal a day. Sit down without distractions, take a few deep breaths, and savor each bite. Pay attention to the flavors, textures, and how the food makes you feel. You might be surprised at how this simple practice can change your entire eating experience. It's a wonderful way to reconnect with your body and truly appreciate the nourishment that food provides. Something that helped a lot with my anxiety was to stay away from social media and technological devices in general. Have you ever been in a situation where you needed more time? I have indeed been there plenty of times. Sadly enough, those are the only moments when I could clearly remember all the hours that slipped away through my fingers while engaging aimlessly on social media. It wasn't until I found myself stressed out with time that I gained awareness of the situation, always feeling infuriated and disappointed with myself at the same time. This is exactly what happened when I made the decision to limit my screen time, a change that has transformed my mental health, productivity, and sleep. If you often find yourself scrolling aimlessly like I was, or binge-watching shows late into the night, you might want to listen closely. First of all, I know that living in a digital world, it's all too easy to get sucked into endless hours of scrolling through social media or checking emails. I found myself feeling drained and disconnected, realizing that this constant screen engagement was impacting my mental well-being. So I decided to set some boundaries and see what happened. I started by limiting my non-work-related screen time to just 1 hour a day. This meant no mindless scrolling on Instagram, no endless YouTube marathons, and definitely no late-night TV binges. At first, it was tough. I had become so accustomed to filling every spare moment with screen time, but I knew I needed to make a change. The first thing I noticed was how much more time I had in my day. With those extra hours, I rediscovered hobbies I had neglected. I picked up a book I had been meaning to read, starting learning new and healthier ways of eating on YouTube, and more importantly for my mind, started walking more in nature, which motivated me to go more to the forest, the beach, and the local city park. One evening, instead of watching TV after dinner, I decided to take a walk in the park. The fresh air and sounds of nature felt incredibly rejuvenating, completely different to the usual screen-induced lethargy. And when I came back home, I slept like a baby. That is how my sleep quality improved a lot in just 1 week. In fact, it changed in a single day. I used to scroll through my phone in bed until I felt sleepy, which often left me wired and restless. By limiting screen time, especially before bed, I found it much easier to wind down and fall asleep. I established a bedtime routine that didn't involve screens, like reading a physical book, meditating, or taking my daily walk before sleeping, leading to deeper, more restful sleep and improved energy levels. I also noticed improvements in my mental health. Without the constant barrage of news updates and social media comparisons, I catched myself thinking more positive and being more present. I became more focused during conversations and more engaged in daily activities. One particularly memorable day was spent at a local cafe with just a notebook and pen. By the way, if you would like to invite me to a coffee, you can kindly use the link in the description. Thank you very much. It is very appreciated. As I was explaining, I wrote down my thoughts and planned my goals without digital interruptions. That afternoon was peaceful and productive, allowing me to connect with myself in a way that screens never permitted me before. Of course, there were moments of temptation along the way. Each time I instinctively reached for my phone, I reminded myself of the benefits I was experiencing and redirected my focus to something more fulfilling. Limiting screen time isn't about completely cutting technology out of my life. It's about creating a healthier balance and being more intentional with my time. My friend on the other side of the screen, if you're feeling overwhelmed or disconnected, I encourage you to set some screen time boundaries. Start small, maybe an hour less each day, and gradually increase it. Use that extra time to reconnect with yourself, your loved ones, and the world around you. You might be surprised at how much richer and more fulfilling life can be when you step away from the screens and engage with reality. Apart from my daily walks, I decided to dedicate just 20 minutes a day to moving my body. Physical exercise can dramatically change not just your health, but your entire outlook on life. It might sound far-fetched, but this was the third habit that transformed my life. I wasn't always the most active person. I could find every excuse under the sun to skip a workout. I'm too tired, I don't have time, or I'll start tomorrow. Sound familiar? But one day, I decided enough was enough. I committed to moving my body every single day for a week, and let me tell you, the results were nothing short of incredible. I started small, just 20 minutes a day, mixing it up with yoga, jogging, and strength training. I wanted to keep it interesting to avoid getting bored and quitting halfway through. The first few days were tough. My muscles were sore, and I often felt exhausted. But each time I pushed through, I reminded myself why I was doing this, to feel better, both physically and mentally. By day 4, something amazing happened. I woke up feeling more energized. My mood improved drastically, and I found myself less irritable and more positive. Those 20 minutes of exercise were not just about burning calories or building muscle. They became my time to focus on myself, release stress, and boost my endorphins. I vividly remember one morning lacing up my sneakers for a jog on a crisp, clear day. As I ran, I felt an incredible sense of freedom and clarity. It was just me, the open road, and my thoughts, a connection to myself and the world around me that felt truly empowering. I also began to see physical changes. My posture improved, I felt stronger, and my overall fitness noticeably increased. But the biggest change was in my mindset. Exercise transitioned from being a chore to a form of self-care, a time to disconnect from the chaos of the world and reconnect with myself. One memorable highlight was trying yoga for the first time. I was hesitant, worried that I wasn't flexible enough or that it wouldn't be a real workout. But after just a few sessions, I fell in love with it. Yoga taught me to be present, to breathe deeply, and to listen to my body, transforming my experience beyond just physical benefits. Incorporating daily exercise into my routine made me realize that taking care of my body directly impacted my mental health and overall happiness. It's not about being perfect or pushing yourself to extremes. It's about finding a form of movement that you enjoy and making it a regular part of your life. So if you're like I was and struggling to get started, here's my advice. Start small. Find something you enjoy, whether it's dancing, hiking, or even just a brisk walk. Commit to just a few minutes a day and gradually build up from there. Trust me, the benefits you'll experience will be well worth the effort. It's a habit that has the power to change not just your body, but your entire outlook on life. Now picture yourself with extra time to think, plan, and actually enjoy the morning before the world even wakes up. Sounds like a luxury, I know, but this could be your reality as it is mine now. There's one habit that helped me unlock this feeling, something so simple, yet so powerful. It wasn't easy at first, and there were definitely moments I almost gave up, but the results were worth it. In just 1 week, this single habit took me from feeling scattered and stressed to more focused and in control than ever. It's a habit most people struggle with, yet it can set the tone for an entire day or even an entire life. So what is it, and how does it really work? The first habit that truly changed my life was waking up early. Now, I'll be honest, mornings were never my thing. My bed and I were best friends, and I'd hit the snooze button more times than I can count. Mornings used to be a mad rush, leaving me feeling like I was starting my day on the wrong foot every single time. But I decided to try waking up early, setting my alarm for 5 a.m. The first few days? Brutal. I'd drag myself out of bed, groggy and questioning if this was really worth it. But by day 3, something incredible started to happen. I began to appreciate the quiet, peaceful hours of the morning. There's something almost magical about being up before the rest of the world, when everything feels calm and still. With these extra hours, I found time for things I'd never made time for before. I started my day with some light exercise, not a full workout, just some stretching or a short jog around the neighborhood. This simple routine woke me up, energized me, and set a positive tone for the day. I also spent a few minutes meditating and setting my intentions. That little bit of mindfulness made a huge difference in my mood and productivity. And the best part? No more chaotic rush. I had time to enjoy breakfast, sip my coffee, and plan out my day at my own pace. I felt more organized, less stressed, and much more in control of my time. One morning, as I watched the sunrise from my balcony, I had this profound moment of gratitude. As the sky shifted colors and the world woke up around me, I felt an overwhelming sense of peace. It was then that I truly understood the power of waking up early. Now, I get that waking up at 5 a.m. isn't for everyone. But here's my challenge. Try waking up just 15 minutes earlier than usual for a week. See how it feels. You might be surprised at the impact it can have, not just by adding extra hours to your day, but by creating a more mindful, intentional start. It's not about having more time. It's about using your time differently to start your day with purpose. And what better way to start the day with purpose than by taking just 10 minutes to write down your thoughts and goals? This habit could unlock profound insights to transform your life. Journaling was a habit that completely changed my perspective on personal growth. I used to think journaling was only for the introspective or those with endless free time. Who has time to sit down and reflect in our busy lives, right? But 1 week of consistent journaling shifted everything for me, and here is why. As with everything else, I started small, just 10 minutes each night before bed, a blank notebook and a pen. No fancy tools or pressure to make it look polished, just me capturing whatever came to mind. The first night, I was faced with an empty page, uncertain of where to begin. But I started simple: how my day went, what made me happy, and what weighed on my mind. After a few days, I found myself going deeper. I started writing about my goals, insecurities, dreams, and even fears. It felt like having an honest conversation with myself, and that's when things began to shift. Patterns in my thoughts and behaviors started surfacing. I realized that some worries were completely out of my control, while others were things I could actually change. One night stands out. After a rough day at work, I wrote about the stress I felt and what triggered it. Putting my emotions into words didn't just help me understand them better, it made me feel more in control, like I could face those feelings instead of just enduring them. Tracking my progress became a powerful part of the practice. I recorded little wins, no matter how small. One entry was about a presentation I'd been nervous about, writing down the steps I took to prepare, and the outcome helped me see my growth in a way that boosted my confidence. Another habit I added was gratitude, just 3 things each day. Shifting my focus from what I was missing to what I already had brought a quiet positivity into my life. One entry that still sticks with me was about a stranger who helped me carry groceries. Reflecting on that kindness inspired me to pay it forward. Gratitude, it's truly life-changing. Journaling revealed a lot to me: my strengths, my blind spots, and even my true priorities. It became a safe space to explore my thoughts freely, without judgment. If you're curious about journaling, don't overthink it. Just let your thoughts flow, whether they're about your day, a specific goal, or whatever's on your mind. It's not about perfect words or profound insights. It's about giving yourself a space to explore. You might be surprised at the calm and clarity it brings into your life. That's all, friends. Thank you for joining me on the journey through these life-changing habits. Sharing this experience with all of you has been nothing short of amazing. These habits have had a profound impact on my life, and I genuinely believe they hold the potential to do the same for you. If even one of these habits resonated with you, I'd encourage you to give it a try. Start small, ease into it, and don't put pressure on yourself to be perfect. Progress, no matter how gradual, is still progress, and it all adds up to real, lasting transformation. I'd also love to hear from you. Tell me in the comments which habit you're considering, or if you've already started making changes. Your stories and insights are what make this community so special, and seeing each of you strive for growth is truly inspiring. If this video brought you any value, please consider liking it, subscribing, and ringing the notification bell to stay connected. And if you think someone in your life could benefit from these habits, share this video with them. It might just be the encouragement and motivation they need. Thank you all for being part of this journey. Remember, we're in this together, taking small steps that lead to big change. Let's keep moving forward, embracing the power of everyday moments and supporting each other along the way. I can't wait to see you in the next video. Keep striving, stay strong, and let's build a life we love.